Good morning, student. Today we are going to see instrumentation of single beam photoelectric colorimeter and spectrophotometer. So just see the diagram. In this diagram, basically your single beam photoelectric colorimeter consists of a source, a lens, a diaphragm, a filter, cuvette with a solution and a galvanometer. So the essential component of single beam colorimeter are source of light. Generally this source of light is tungsten lamp, a collimating lens which is shown with L, a galvanometer, an adjustable diaphragm, a color filter for monochromatic light, that is this, a cuvette holding a solution, and barrier type photocell, that is P. This is your barrier type photocell. Now we are going to see how colorimeter works. So first the cuvette is first filled with a blank or a solvent and placed in the optical path. The incident light intensity is adjusted so to obtain reading 100% transmittance, that is 0% of your absorbance. In next step, after this adjustment, the cuvette is filled with the sample solution and placed in the optical path. Its percentage transmittance or absorbance is measured. The concentration of sample solution can be determined by using Beer-Lambert's law. This is the diagram of double beam photoelectric colorimeter. Just see, it is the important diagram which is generally asked to draw in an exam. Your double beam photoelectric colorimeter consists basically a lamp, a lens, a filter, a mirror, cuvette with your sample, cuvette with reference, cuvette with your standard solution, measuring photocell. This is a reference photocell. This is your jockey R2. This is R1 and this is R2, and this galvanometer basically gives you percentage transmittance. So now we are going to see how your double beam photoelectric colorimeter works. So the potential dial R2 is adjusted to read out the transmittance, and the slide wire contact R1 is adjusted to the null galvanometer. So this is your potentiometer dial R2. This is your potentiometer dial R2 and it is your slide wire contact R1. Standard and unknown solution are introduced in the measurement beam, and slide wire contact R2 is adjusted to renull the meter. The transmittance, that is linear, or absorbance non-linear, can be read out from your potentiometer dial from its sample. Now what is the advantages of double beam instrument over the single beam? It is not necessary to continually replace the blank with the sample or to adjust zero absorbance at each wavelength as in a single beam unit. The ratio of the powers of a sample and reference beams is constantly obtained and used. Any error due to the variation in the intensity of source and fluctuation in the detector is minimized. Because of these previous two factors, the double beam system tends itself to rapid scanning over a wide wavelength region and to use a recorder or digital workout. Now we are going to see the diagram of single beam spectrophotometer. Basically your single beam spectrophotometer consists of light source of light, lens, slit, a reflecting mirror, grating, sails and galvanometer. Now we are going to see how this spectrophotometer, single beam spectrophotometer works. So source of radiation, generally source of radiation in spectrophotometer is tungsten halogen lamp in a visible region. If we for a visible region, tungsten halogen lamp is used as a source having a wavelength 380 to 780 nanometer. Hydrogen discharge to for UV region, and deuterium lamp which have wavelength 190 to 375 nanometer, or NUS blower for IR region. If we want work in IR region, then NUS blower or your deuterium lamp is used as a source of light. If we want to take reading in UV region, then hydrogen discharge tube is used as a source of a light. Now what is the work of monochromator? Light from a radiation source is allowed to pass by means of your lens, which is shown here, through a narrow slit, that is T, and the reflecting mirror M onto an optical grating Z or prism. This is your grating basically, which divides light into a narrow spatial region corresponding to different wavelength. So basically grating divides your light into the region corresponding the different wavelength. Now what is the role of absorption cell? The light is desired wavelength emerging from grating is allowed to pass through the cuvette B. So this B is, which is shown in the diagram, it is for the cuvette holding your sample solution under the examination. For the study in visible region, the cell made up of Corex glass and is used, while for UV region quartz cell is used. It is important, this point is generally asked in the exam. For UV region, cell is made up of your quartz cell, and for your visible region generally Corex glass cell is used. What is the work of detector? Detector, the light coming out from the solution after the absorption is allowed to fall on the detector D. The role of detector is to respond to the intensity of radiation. In spectrophotometer, generally photomultiplier tube are used as a detector. It is important. So in your spectrophotometer, generally photomultiplier tubes are used as a detector. Now indication, a galvanometer records the intensity of the light falling on the photoelectric cell. Now just see the diagram of double beam spectrophotometer. So your double beam spectrophotometer consists photomultiplier, a grand mirror, a sample, sector mirror, concave grating, tungsten lamp and deuterium lamp. Double beam spectrophotometer has a beam splitter like a chopper that split the beam of light obtained from the source. So basically your this grid mirror split the beam of light which is coming from your source. So beam of light is split up, one part is fall below and one goes to the in a straight line into two component of equal intensity. One beam passes throughout the solvent while the other through the sample cell. The difference is recorded by the photomultiplier tube. All other components are similar to the single beam instrument. Now we are going to see the application of colorimetry and spectrophotometry in quantitative inorganic analysis. Generally question is asked in the examination on this point. Write the application of colorimetry and spectrophotometry. So first application is development of color. If the species to be analyzed colorimetrically, it is important, is colorless. If the species to be analyzed in a colorimetrically is colorless, it is treated with a suitable reagent that imparts color to the solution. This reagent is added in excess of the species under the study. Also, this reagent should not absorb at the same wavelength. Such a color development is not required in spectrophotometry, provided the species absorbs in either visible or UV region. Now, determination of lambda max. The wavelength at which substance absorbs maximum is called as lambda max. At this wavelength, the value of molar absorptivity is maximum and hence the sensitivity is also maximum. It is determined by recording absorbance of any of the standard solution of the species under study at different wavelength. In case of colorimeter, it is not possible wavelength linearly. So absorbance is recorded using different filter. A graph is plotted between absorbance and wavelength. Maximum of these graphs correspond to lambda max. So this is the graph of absorbance, again the wavelength. So in this graph we see that at this point there is a maximum absorbance, that's why it is selected as a lambda max. Now third point is preparation of calibrant curve. A series of solution containing different concentration species under the study is prepared and absorbance are recorded at wavelength selected previously. A graph is plotted between concentration of the species and absorbance. It is the straight line passing through the origin and it is known as calibration curve. Estimation of concentration of analyte. Sample is treated in the similar manner as that of the series of the standard. Color is developed and absorbance is recorded at the same wavelength. From calibration curve, concentration of analyte can be determined as shown in the figure. So it is a basically graph of absorbance against concentration, and from this graph concentration of unknown sample solution can be determined. I highly suggest students to watch the video verification of Beer's law which is already uploaded on the channel. All this point is discussed on that experimental part. So now colorimeter, what is the difference between colorimeter and spectrophotometer? So in colorimeter, color filters are used to select desired wavelength. In spectrophotometer, a monochromator is used to select desired wavelength. The radiation emerging out from the filters have same wavelength within a small range, that is bandwidth 20 to 50 nanometer. The radiation emerging out from the monochromator have very narrow wavelength, that is bandwidth is less than 1 nanometer. In colorimeter, a photoelectric device used as a detector in a photocell. In spectrophotometer, photomultiplier tubes or high vacuum photoemissive cells are used. They are used only in a visible region. They are used, that is your spectrophotometer are used in visible, UV as well as IR region. This is the important point. Deviation for Beer-Lambert's law are observed when we use colorimeter, but when we use spectrophotometer, Beer-Lambert's law is perfectly for obey. In a colorimeter, colorimeters are generally used for the quantitative analysis of colored substance. This is the important point. Spectrophotometer are mostly used for structure elucidation of the colorless and color substance in addition to quantitative analysis. So in our next lecture we are going to discuss separation techniques. Thank you very much.